Sure. Here's my willpower roll. And that's at a difficulty 6, right?
I'm not seeing your willpower roll.
I hadn't done it yet. I was just asking. Nope, I have not. I had nightmares, and I'm in a bad mood.
Okay. Okay. You are being bothered by nightmares. You got a message that you had to attend the tribunal that will, among other things, look into the case of, Sarah dying and Raffaello going off the deep end. Just, that whole unfortunate sequence of events.
Sure.
So they send a car over for you and you are driven, well, you don't know exactly where, but somewhere in the Midwest, well, not Midwest so much as, the central parts of the USA, somewhere that is classical Camarilla territory. And
I let Charleston, South Carolina.
it someplace with suitably large population that it could actually be a Tremere stronghold kind of place. In any case,
Sure.
You are left in a waiting room at first, dressed in archaic robes, no less, for the proceedings. There seem to be a couple of other terrified vampires there, and one very smug one, but overall it's just quiet. The Lord is inside at the moment, discussing the particulars of the case, and who knows just how far he'll stick his own neck out for you. Maybe he's sinking you for all he's worth. Is there
Can
any...
can I roll perception alertness or a perception awareness to see what they're saying?
Not without using aspects. Would you like to use vampire disciplines to spy on the court proceedings?
Nah. Is there any rule against speaking in the lobby?
I'm sure there's something in the precedents. Would you like to roll intelligence law?
Sure.
Provided you have law. Sure, we'll assume you have some basic grounding in Tremere law. Then?
I have some law.
Yeah, like I said. So, go ahead and make a roll for that.
Nope.
Not necessarily. This is more of a legal thing.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Okay. Halfway through the wait, you see a staked vampire being carried past you. You hear one of the ghouls mutter something about a shipment to Vienna.
Do I recognize the ghoul? I mean, not the ghoul, but the staked vampire? Because of Joshua?
Let's roll 2d10. If both come 6 or above, then it is in fact Joshua. Nope, it's someone else. Joshua must have been shipped out already.
Okay. I'll just wait quietly then.
Okay. At some point, you can't tell how long it's been since... It's kind of like hell, this sort of limbo where nothing really happens and there's nothing really to, focus your senses on. It's just dreary nothingness, like waiting in a line forever. But at some point the Lord comes out and he tells you that you need to go in. That... That's exactly it. The DMV was inspired by such proceedings.
Okay. Is there any protocol that I have to follow, like, to go into the meeting?
Well...
Like, is there a specific means of addressing the council or the tribunal?
There no doubt is, but do you know it? You can roll intelligence law or charismatic, I suppose, to try and observe the niceties and impress the court with how.
Not super impressive, but maybe I'll catch something.
Is that intelligence or charisma?
That's the intelligence law.
Okay.
Did you want me to do charisma?
No, it was either or. You could
Okay.
try to fake it just by being polite in general. Yeah. It's essentially your honor. Yes, please, no, thank you. You know, basic kind of crap like that.
Okay, just simple formalities. I'm ready.
Okay. As you walk in, you find yourself in a completely black room. As you step forward, you are in a circle of light, and at first you can't see anything, but after a while you see what looks like 9 skulls looking down at you. Bone-white masks. You can barely make out the vague shapes of black robes. It's like like a group of ghostly faces floating in the air, looking down at you, with various amounts of disapproval. This might or might not have been created to intimidate upstart fledglings like you.
Do they speak first or do I speak first?
Would you like to open your mouth?
No.
After a while, they start questioning you, essentially establishing facts about your background and identity. Are you the one who calls himself Malik Wormwood, mortal name so-and-so, sired by so-and-so, and so on?
Yes, I am.
And it drags on. Clearly they're trying to drain your will to resist. Would you like to roll willpower to resist despair?
What is the despair for?
Because they've
Just
been
like some kind of... What now?
just psychological torture. This whole
I couldn't
place.
get in any trouble for rolling willpower, could I?
No, it's a internal reaction. It just shows your strength of spirit kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay. You keep a cheery sparkle in your eye. After a while, the questioning on that account stops, and you are asked to shortly recount what led to Serath's demise. Not so much the events leading up to it as the actual final chase.
Okay. Well, as you no doubt know, he frenzied after a night of not returning. The first thing we noticed from him was that he came home in a frenzied state. And I took pursuit to try to avoid masquerade breaches. About at some point he climbed a building, and I was the first person on top of the building with him, and I keep a gun loaded with silver bullets on hand. I fired at him and did not know of his affliction with his affinity for silver.
You hear the scribble of 9 quills on parchment as the judges take notes. Different voice asks, there has been some suggestion that Serath might not have been entirely in control of himself, other than the frenzy.
Out of character, what does he mean by that? Like, he wasn't entirely in control of himself. Like, was he injured or something?
Eyes glowing red like a gangrel. You know, The whole possession thing, remember that?
Do I actually remember the eyes being glowing? Because I don't think I ever even reported that.
Fun part is, you are the first one to catch up with him. You're the only one who really saw that, and I think you would have reported it to the Lord, right? Because you laid pretty much everything out.
Yeah, if I actually thought it pertinent, I would have said something, but I don't know if I even mentioned it.
I think you did. I really think you did.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with your word on this. I'm trying to think how I would word this, though.
I do think it's funny that other than the frenzy, he wasn't in his control.
Well, possession by a vampire hostile to the clan would be a big problem, cause thaumaturgy, clan knowledge, able to destroy them from the inside, reason to destroy the clan from the inside. Might be a mitigating circumstance for murdering another Tremere.
Just a little.
Yes, he appeared to have been a little different, even though he was in frenzy mode. I don't know how to explain it. He seemed not like himself, even in frenzy.
And have you seen Serath often in frenzy that you would be able to tell such subtle differences?
Actually, no, I haven't. I just got a feeling.
So, is it possible then that, like an inexperienced fledgling which you are, you simply overreacted to a perfectly normal vampiric frenzy and destroyed your clanmate for no real reason?
Well, the intent was not to harm Serath. I simply wanted to incapacitate him in such a way where I could get him back to safety.
And yet he is dead, and the clan has lost a talented young apprentice.
And I felt really bad for it. I wish he had told me about his affliction with silver. As such, for some reason, he did not trust anyone at the Springfield Chantry with this information. And I thought it would simply just incapacitate him so that I could bring him home. He looked very injured, so he needed his rest.
Here is an interesting conundrum. How are we to know that you did not, in fact, know about his affliction? There are any number of ways you could have found it out, and there is the matter of demonic influences. You could have afterwards simply asked some creature to blank the knowledge that you knew about it out of your own mind, to lie to us at this point and believe that you are being completely honest.
I am being honest. I don't know. I'm not sure how I could prove that, but... Oh god, I just walked into a trap, didn't I? That was out of character.
You did not expect it to be that easy, did you?
I'm still pretty calm here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all I can do is tell you what I saw, what I witnessed. I've not lied here once.
Moving on to the matter with the ritual which you managed to enact and then swiftly lose so that we could not examine it. Would you care to justify your actions there? Because it seems to us like you were, at the very least, highly responsible with very dangerous magic.
It was a stupid decision.
So you admit your guilt?
I admit being part of it in such a way that I didn't know exactly what it was. Didn't believe what it could do. And that's on me.
Well, we find it curious that... Well, we find it highly suspect, rather, that a student of thaumaturgy and the occult sciences would actually believe that demons were not a threat, or that a member of the clan Tremere would be foolish enough to expect us to buy such a clearly contrived excuse.
I've not been a good Tremere. I've been very unastute with thaumaturgy. So, I've been trying to do better for the clan, for the Camarilla, for my sire, for myself. But at the time, I was stupid. I did not believe in such things. And I believe I was denying my kindred nature at the time. Did y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's just a tense silence. Lord Cornelius believes that your actions in attempting to apprehend Raffaello are enough of a proof of your intentions, especially since you did come clean, as they say in modern times. However, I'm not completely convinced, because Raffaello on his own is not going to be much of a threat. If the demon in question, however, also had someone in a position of power in, say, the local Chantry to act as a second agent, that would make for a far more successful plan. Wouldn't you say?
I would have to agree with your suspicions, but I maintain my innocence.
That this all seems to have worked out very much in your favor. The people who were there from the beginning are either dead or are your direct servants and children. Sarath is dead. Raffaello is free, someone who you are conveniently unable to stop from escaping, incidentally. Even your ghoul has recently been silenced. I mean, accidentally died, of course. The picture does not look particularly encouraging from where we're sitting, Mr. Wormwood.
Well, I'm trying to think what to say. Hold on. Well, Springfield has been a very hostile place for the Tremere, as you know. And what had happened with my ghoul, that was a consequence of someone else in the Camarilla not under our influence. And it was never my intention to become regent. I was not. I will freely admit that I thought it would be wiser to get on the to get on the Camarilla seat in the tower as Primogen, but act solely as a voice for the clan to soften our image with some of the people since it's so hostile. And I fully intended to allow Serath to be regent in secret to add a little measure of protection for him, as this is not too uncommon, I don't suppose, for some chantries that are under such high scrutiny in their cities, in their respective cities. Some measure of secrecy is we do keep some measure of secrecy about our clan and our what goes on in our chantries.
There is a muttered discussion among them. You can roll perception alertness if you want.
Is that a bad thing? Double checking.
If you're not,
I'm in the room.
If you're not activating aspects, then you might be able to catch something. If you activate aspects, you will be able to hear things a lot more easily, but you know.
Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna just see if I hear something normally.
Mm-hmm. They seem to be talking about how the local prince is still refusing access to more experienced Tremere. After a few minutes doing this, they tell you that you may go, and that they will make a decision.
Can I do my formalities, like bow or whatever they would wish, and take my leave?
Yes, indeed you can. You get another 15 or so minute stint out in the lobby, and after that you are brought back inside to receive judgment. The voice, which seems to be in charge, the one closer to the center, proclaims that with a vote of 5 to 4, they have decided to find you innocent, but to place you on probation and under extra scrutiny. Namely, that they will essentially keep an eye on you and don't fuck up. But other than that, you are free to return to your position. And they will allow you to serve as regent.
Okay. Thank you. And I will do my best. And do my formalities and leave, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's too early at that point to leave the city for your own Chantry, so you will be arriving back sometime during the night on which they are chasing the Giovanni, after they have already left.
Have I given my report on all my findings to the Lord yet?
I expect you can step over, like you would have met there at the tribunal, so you would have been able to, discuss things.
Do you want me to discuss, is this before the tribunal or after tribunal when we're discussing this?
It can be before or after. You will probably.
I think it would be better if we did it before instead of after, he put his neck on the line for me and such.
Mm-hmm. Now, what exactly are you discussing? Like,
I will tell him that I found out specifically. Should I tell him about Bronson? Let's see. That's a bad thing, but he should know, shouldn't he? Anyways, he did say that he doesn't really care. He just wants to make sure that it's kind of kept under wraps. So,
keep in mind that so he did say that crap like ghouls didn't interest him, but then again, Bronson isn't a ghoul exactly, is he?
No. No, but he did say, I did mention something about Bronson being weird. He said, find out about it, make sure it's okay. I do
Yeah.
remember him saying that. So I did the Bone of Lies on Bronson to find out exactly what he meant. And it appears that he did do something awful.
Oh,
But I took care of it with the Malkavian Primogen.
he sighs deeply. From the beginning, then.
Well, it seems that he and Chloe had grown pretty close. That after she died, he took the Malkavian that frenzied on her and killed him. Turned him to ash. He tried to lie about it with the Bone of Lies.
I think you actually reported this already.
I never reported that he did this. I reported everything else. I reported
No, I
that
said
I think he said this.
I think I
I reported. I remember this. I reported that I think he might have done something. He said what had happened, and I said I'm not sure. I never told him about finding out for certain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was something
Anyways.
along the lines of, just don't get caught, make sure that our clan, they know to respect our clan kind of thing.
I went to meet with the Malkavian to honor agreements with someone else, and also because the Malkavian wanted to meet. And I spoke with her. She somehow saw that I knew something was going on, and I told her the truth and offered to make amends best I could with a favor.
Or 3.
Well, not for that specific. I have 3 separate ones. So.
Yeah.
So what would the Lord say to that? I'm being honest. So what would the Lord say to that?
Well, that is... Well, business pretty much as usual.
Yeah. Bronson has been a great child, but I fear his lack of control could get him into some hot water one day. It already seems to be a problem.
What worries me far more is that Malkavian bitch, because that is, well, this Kennedy person seems to be uncommonly competent for Malkavian. Of course, I would never suggest that you remove someone who was a valued member of the Camarilla and a Primogen. He looks meaningful into your eyes. But sometimes people have no choice.
I've considered avenues on this, but I don't really see anywhere it doesn't come back to haunt me, bite me in the ass sort of thing.
Yes. It is unfortunate that... Well, I'm sure you'll find a way out of this. Just don't trade away any more magic to them.
No, that is not something I plan to do. If it comes to that, if she makes such a request, I will deny it and deal with those consequences on my own. I'll fall on my sword, I guess I'm saying.
Just carefully. Carefully. The unwritten rules of the game are, well, you know what they are like. Just to elaborate, it's a certain amount of accidents have always happened, even to immortals. perhaps more so than one would expect. It's part of
Should I
how things are done, as long as you don't get caught.
Does he know about the legal diablerie? About the gangrel?
Did you
He wouldn't know
report
that.
it?
Also, I did manage with the group, with my team. I was capable of finding the gangrel, and I did, we took care of that problem. One of the city gangrels that took out that released the caged Malkavians that have been plaguing the city, and
It
I
actually
legally-
occurs to me that maybe you can use another Malkavian to depose a certain Primogen. And then maybe you just get rid of your favors by helping said Primogen get out of town, and well, you have a new ally and are rid of all debts.
Perhaps. I appreciate the counsel on this. Yes. But as such, the prince knows that I've diablerized, since I diablerized the gangrel, and he had a blood hunt on him. So, in any case,
Yes, indeed. Well, you'll have to watch carefully just how Wolfgang reacts to this. He could, I think, go either way. Just, well, don't hesitate to play up your loyalty even to the point of taking on such distasteful tasks if you get the opportunity. Can't hurt to cash in as much as possible on this bit of service.
yes. Wolfgang did have a Bone of Lies in his possession, and he gave me back 2 tomes of, was it 2? Out of character? I believe he gave me back 2 tomes on the Lure of Flames.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He gave me back 2 tomes of the Lure of Flames to add back to our library. And also with the fact that he blanked out the memories of Julio when he went to honor our agreement. Yeah, Wolfgang is prime suspect, and probably has much more of our writings in his possession.
Well, that's hardly surprising. Do try to get
But
me
it's confirmed.
do try to get me a list of exactly what he managed to get his hands on. It would be good to have a clearer idea of how much the local librarian managed to destroy before the prince's forces could seize the library.
Yes. I think that's it. That's all I had to report on.
Yes, excellent. Just keep an eye on those Malkavians. They could be a problem for
Malkavians.
you.
I hate Malkavians. I hate them as much as I hate the Zamishi and the Salat, the Salubre.
Oh, they have their uses.
They do. I've met a few that I've, in some odd way, find somewhat charming, but as a group, no. I do not like them.
Oh, and Bacon is back. So at some point after all of this has taken place, you arrive back at the Chantry, and a few minutes later you receive a text from Yorick. Interesting news, blah blah blah. And he'll talk to you later, apparently. I don't remember the exact text message he sent.
That was almost exactly it. Interesting news. Be back soon.
So, I assume that you are all converging on the location of the car, those of you who are out on the chase.
Yep. Sent him a location on Google Maps.
Okay.
And then I'm attempting to track them down.
I'm just gonna place the car in an appropriate alley as the chase is on, after you botched an ambush at the house. You see where the car is, right? Yes, you do.
And I managed to roll all the ones on the 2 shots I got for the battery.
Yeah, you would have been able to fuck them up right there on the street if you had succeeded at either one. I was gonna...
Hey, I roll amazingly in one of 2 ways. It's either really bad or really awesome. I've found this through my life.
Yeah. Now, of course. Yeah, I did have a bit of luck. Only 4 dice of drive.
Only 4 dice of drive. Roll all successes. Both time.
Well, it was meant
Wait,
to be
no.
a difficulty 9, so it was 2 successes and 1 success, really.
Yep.
But still, enough. More than
Compared
enough.
to my combined total of 8 successes to catch up. Yeah, come on, get back here.
Well, you did not burn any blood on celerity. If you had, it might have been easier. Then you would have caught up to them on your own and they would have killed you. Right?
Well, I'm trying to catch up on my own anyway.
Roll perception alertness for ambush. Let me just...
He was giving you hints. He was giving you hints about this. Why would you keep saying, I was still just trying to catch up with him anyways?
It doesn't look like you're about to die a horrible death.
That's fine. Try and track them.
You
Where'd they
do
go?
find a small patch of black fur caught on one of the roofs, though. Smells vaguely of dog.
Whatever, that's not important.
I'm sure it isn't. I'm sure it isn't.
Not important at all.
Oh wait, I can use more than 1 point of blood per turn now.
Yes, you can.
I can fix that on my sheet. I didn't even notice that it was not fixed. Do I start with more blood than 5, or do you want me to hunt to get my blood back up?
So I'm just gonna do a quick run around on top of these buildings and see if I can
Sure.
see where they are in the distance.
Malik, you would have had 2 days of stuff, but you could have at the very least hunted, like, in whatever hours were left of the night during last session, so you can make at least 1 hunting roll. Maybe 2.
Okay.
Let's go with 2. I let everyone else take 2 hunting rolls for what happened in the downtime.
Okay.
So you can, go with that. If you're hunting in a particularly fun way, like cornering people in dark alleys kind of thing, let me know so I can keep in mind how the attention from hunters is gonna accumulate.
Nah. I've not been doing that in a long time, and you know it.
Okay. And you can make another willpower roll for this night, since the tribunal happened essentially what was yesterday. Okay,
So I got 1.
Yeah.
I got 2 successes.
Yeah, that's 1 guy that you actually got. So yeah,
So I'll be down 2 points, and then
up 2 points.
I would be off 2 points for the nights that I was off, and then I would get 2 more points. Is that what you're saying?
You would have gotten 2 points before. You're just driven back into town. You could go out hunting, but essentially you've just arrived and you are at where you were.
So, okay.
You would have essentially managed to grab a bite before going off. Yorick, you wanted to do a circle around the area, right?
Yep.
So, perception alertness, I believe. Not to die horribly to werewolf. Oh, I removed that token from the map. Let me just drag it out again. Wait, what? You could call Yorick back while he's stealthily hunting for enemies, Malik. I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem, right?
Nah. I'm not even concerning myself with what they're doing right now.
You did say that he did say that he had news. Strangely enough.
Did I see my text?
Yeah, I assume you did.
Obviously.
It arrived.
I'm gonna wait until he calls. I'm gonna wait until he calls me back because I would assume that he could be in the middle of something.
I'm half tempted to make you roll intelligence to see if you would realize it, but no, it's fine.
York, see anything?
A good leader inspires confidence in his underlings, I guess. So that's what I'm going with.
You see something peeking up from one of the roofs on the, well, ways off.
Sounds fun.
You seem to have drifted close enough to the Sabbat territory that one of the patrols is watching you.
Huh. Well, in that case, I think I should load the silver bullets in instead of the normal bullets for the rest of this combat.
Okay, the werewolf sees you, reload, vanishes below the edge of the building, and you hear the faint sounds of someone running for all they're worth.
Sounds fine by me, but that's not the people we're looking for.
It's running like a little
Yorick,
bitch.
puts up one of the rifle rounds. See this? It's silver.
You cruel fucker.
But I don't find anybody nearby.
Just some bum sleeping in one of the alleys.
Damn it. Well, there's only one thing left to do.
Eat him?
Nah, time to go down and grab that car.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna send a text. Can't find them. Taking car.
At this point, everyone else arrives at the car anyway. After you have been fucking around for a few minutes, they manage to catch up. After getting their shit together.
Ah, there you guys are. Yeah, I can't find them. Here's our car, though. We could probably take this.
Gerard,
Nice car.
roll perception alertness while they're admiring the car. Unless you're admiring the car as well. Oh. Okay. You don't then. That's fine. You don't have to. I mean... You don't have to use Auspex. You can use normal perception alertness. Difficulty 6. Let's go with 6. Oh, with Auspex. Well, difficulty 3 then, if you are using it. It seems that a bum in a nearby alley is looking wide-eyed at Igor.
Good to know.
It's not like that's gonna be a problem, is it? Does following the Trail of prey requires someone to have seen the target.
It actually does require to have either their name or a good image of the target, be that mental or otherwise.
So perception alertness to remember catching the name of the Giovanni envoy from Liam, I think would be appropriate.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, I know. Would you like to rush across the street and try to dominate the bum?
And Yorick is going to see about slapdashing the tire into decent shape. Hopefully they have at least a pump of some kind in there too.
And there does appear to be... Well, you can't get into the car. They've locked it.
I don't give a shit.
Yep, go ahead and open it up.
I, of course, opened it without doing the security alarms or anything. I presume some kind of roll is going to be required for that.
Well, it's up to you. You can try to defuse the security alarm first. Or try to figure out how to work around it.
We don't need a security alarm in this right now. We can just disable it.
Well, if you head across the street, then head across the street, Jackalor, to dominate the bomb, so that I can have this Shlakta ambush you and the Zamitzi and Sile have at you. Let me just find the right thing. We'll go with difficulty 4 to dominate. Okay, what is your command? What are you doing to them? I did say that this was close to Sabbat territory, did I? I did say that.
I think you did.
Yep.
However, Yorick is busy, getting us a new car. So let me make those rolls for that.
Roll to soak 2 points of lethal as bone spikes slam into your abdomen. It does not seem to know English. Your car is safe. The car is fine. They did not touch the Lamborghini. Meanwhile, Jackalor has found a spying Shlakta keeping an eye on the perimeter. Yep, it's only lethal. Oh, but it can do a lot of it. It can do so much of lethal. Roll perception alertness to hear and notice the oof of pain from Gerard.
Yorick notices. Yorick cares not.
Julio. What's Igor's thing for this? Alright, I made Shlakta super alert. Which might be why they're being used as perimeter spies. Nope! Igor doesn't know.
Hey, look. Igor just went, yeah, I smell blood. I don't know where.
That's a really nice car, huh? Sleek. Julio, did you make a perception alertness roll to notice Jackal being in trouble?
No, I was distracted with the car.
Okay, you can voluntarily fail, but okay, you and Gianna are in. I'm gonna roll initiative for everyone. This can be considered a combat encounter from now on.
You actually, there you go. Yep, you did.
There you go. The Schlachter goes first, or declares first. He's gonna slam a fist into Gerard's face. I mean, there's plenty of time to call for his master later. First, he needs to quietly take down this first one.
I was actually somewhat joking about Yorick not caring at all. He's just not going to be moving from here. So he will be shooting, though.
Okay, in that case, you can add yourself to the initiative. Suddenly, Schlachter. Maybe the Giovanni have a safe house in Sabbat territory. They are neutral after all. Okay. In that case, Yorick will be going first, as per usual. Julio, what's your action? It's too...
I will go to the other side of the street, see what's happening, but I will dry my sword when I am walking.
Would you be able to draw your sword? Normally, it's too far to go half the jogging distance and still take an action. I think. You could move like 6 or 7 per normal action, but you could attack next turn if you prepared right now. And Gerard could always try to back off, in theory.
Well, actually I don't know what is happening exactly. I just saw something, so I will just cross the street.
Okay. Well, you don't go now, you go when we take the actions, you
Sorry.
declare first. Gerard, what do? That thing just punched you, like really hard. There's holes in your body now. Maybe I should add a couple of shovel heads to this fight in a bit as well. You can heal if that's the only thing you want to do, but if you want to take a normal action as well, you have to make a stamina survival roll at difficulty 8. Otherwise you just waste the blood. Okay, not gonna risk it. You could always try to just buff your stamina. Which of the shovelhead types would make sense in this situation? Who is cool like that? Ah, crap, I forgot to add the disciplines to this one. Apparently. Well, not the Nosferatu then. I might not have completed that one. You can roll it as just stamina at difficulty 8 in this case, since it's a supernatural thing and not really a actual survival skill roll. Sure. What about one of you fuckers? What did you have? Yeah, that doesn't make much sense either. Yeah, let's go with this. This makes a certain amount of sense. Okay, so you're gonna heal up and what? Just heal? Okay. You are gonna be running away, while Julio goes running towards it. You can run across the street to, well... where would you be? You took 2 points of damage. You are at 3 health, essentially. I think it's half your normal speed, but if you're trying to move, just make as much speed as possible, then that comes out under flat out running, so that would be half of 20 plus dex times 3. Since that's the only thing he's doing, he's just running in a straight line. I think that's how it would go, right? Epic, niche. That sound about right?
Oh, whoops. Good thing.
Sorry, I was reading my book. I had to
Ah.
turn my thing off.
I think he can use the flat out running
Okay,
speed
so-
since he's not trying to maneuver carefully or take another action, right?
Who's this? This is Julio, and he's trying to run.
I had to take off the thing. You're at wounded, right?
Yep.
My push to talk was messing with my stuff. That means they cannot run, though they may still walk. At this at this level, a character can only move or attack. He always loses dice when moving and attacking in the same turn.
Okay, so you can just walk, so that's what, like 3-4 tiles?
It's a little bit more, I think. Where was movement? Movement, come here.
I know that jogging or normal running, like not flat out running, was 11 plus dex, but
Is that in dramatic systems? It might be. Where is movement?
it was under combat somewhere around page 280. Somewhere there.
What I'm looking for.
Let's go with half of your full running speed just to keep this moving. So, like here is where you could get. Gianna, seeing that you're running from something that seems to have attacked you, will try to attack it with tentacles.
Okay.
Let's see. And again, somehow it either hasn't saved or I haven't added the actual fucking discipline dots for these shovelhead generic characters. Oh, that is so stupid.
Okay, here we go. Moves at 7 yards per /meters per turn. So walking is just always 7.
So more or less like I said.
Mm-hmm. You
Okay.
basically almost crossed the street. Not quite.
Three. Yeah, so he would make it to here, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Jan is doing the tentacle thing, and you are...
Getting into a position that I can actually shoot from, if that's possible from right here. That'd be nice. Just
you
in
can
position.
shoot over the car from where you are right now.
Alright. So yeah, shoot at it, just in its body. I'm not taking an aim action or anything, so...
Okay. Shoot away at it.
Shoot away! You can shoot it! Shoot it!
One hit kill. One hit kill?
We could
Yeah.
have a one-hit kill.
You are shooting it with silver. Because you did reload with that.
Yep, I know.
Mm-hmm. Just keep track of how much silver you use.
Yep, I know.
I need to figure out how angry Bronson is gonna be. It soaks one of it! Just like, Herc!
I saw my life flash before my eyes.
It was very
Don't
short.
Don't worry. It's only at, I think it's wounded as well now.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is this means it can't attack you in the same turn. Or it could, but it takes 7 dice penalty if it does.
I'm sure that's fine. It would still have 1 dice. Oh wait, it wouldn't, because -2 from wounds on top of that.
Yep.
Nope! Tentacle fail.
Look, it's a shadow tentacle. It does nothing.
It cuts through the garbage bin next to it. Gianna curses under her breath.
Oh my goodness. So she's back.
The garbage bin dies.
He's back.
That poor garbage.
She
Littering
eviscerates
is
it.
bad. Littering is bad, Gianna.
Hey,
Leave only footprints.
hey. Malik doesn't know she littered. He's in there, okay? Gerard can
Igor
move
will tell
across
him.
the
Igor will
street.
tell him.
Igor is caressing the car meanwhile. Julio, you wanted to get up in his face.
When did
Actually,
Igor turn into a Toreador?
Julio doesn't see the thing yet, so he said he was crossing the street, to be more exact.
Yep, but you're walking out where Gerard was standing, essentially. And now you see it. A twisted monstrosity covered in bony protrusions. Kind of like Igor, but less artistic.
Hey Igor, you have a little friend here.
It did say that it would try to attack Gerard, so it's 1 dice at +2 difficulty, I take it? I think that's the case, right?
For what?
For chasing after Gerard and taking a punch.
Nope, it's actually a dice penalty. If you
Yeah, he goes
that.
down to... He's at -9, right? He has 8. So he goes down to 1 and then his difficulty starts climbing. And after his difficulty hits 9, then it starts adding a minimum number of successes, right?
that is a ruling for general rolls. That is true. That's
So,
not specifically for this, but that is a rule.
he whiffs. You are still alive, Gerard. As the bleeding monstrosity comes crashing out after Gerard.
It wants Gerard. It wants him.
Okay, let me just roll initiative for something. Okay, good to know. Don't worry about it, it's fine. How much blood should I give them? 6, 7? I think 6. And 7 for the other one is appropriate. Just in case the Schlachter needs reinforcements. You have never actually run into a shovelhead party before. Time you met some of the
I
trash.
hear that they are both trash, and they can still kill you. So yeah, they're good shovelheads.
Okay, next declaration. Let me just sort this. Schlachter is gonna do punchy punchy on Gerard, if it's still alive. Julio.
I will draw my sword and try to move closer to the Slacta.
Okay. Someone unseen and someone unseen will do unseen things. Gerard, what do? I mean, these are proper shovelheads. They are weaker than neonate vampires, actually. I just made a while back a bunch of vampire templates with some, like, really crappy stuff to just denote
Don't
complete
worry,
foot
they
soldiers.
don't even realize they are vampires yet. Hey, shovelheads.
Gerard, what do? It's in your face. Again.
That's so brave of you, Gerard.
Are you gonna try and heal this time so that you can run better?
It might be a...
Okay. You can always spend willpower to automatically succeed at healing at the same time. You know. Gianna is gonna draw her sword in case that thing gets close. There was that werewolf that got away. Maybe he called reinforcements. Huh. Maybe you have just stumbled into their perimeter. And I'm gonna split the recording here and we'll continue in a second.